extreme weather is making its way across the state of Texas.
The head of Social Security has now resigned amid conflicts with Elon Musk.
And an assistant coach with the Mavs is now facing charges for assault.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Landry Brady.
And I'm Annie Tomlin.
The Arctic blast making its way across the nation is rolling in, and the city of Denton is opening its doors to people who need a place to stay with the temperatures dropping. City facilities, including fire stations, libraries, and rec centers, are expanding their capacity for those who are unsheltered and temporarily removing suspension lists. The fire stations will be open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Library facilities and rec centers will remain open during their usual hours of operation. According to the City of Denton's Chief Communication Officer, these facilities are open year-round and are not dependent on bad weather. They have restrooms for use and water to provide. Another homeless shelter in our area called Our Daily Bread is asking for the people in the community to volunteer to keep up with the rapid intake of people.
You know, it's amazing that so many places are going to help out people in need with this weather we're going to have coming up.
I agree. There definitely are good resources available for those in need. Our weather anchor, Cornelius Williams-Peoples, is in studio to help us prepare for this potential freeze tonight.
Hey everybody, my name is Cornelius Williams-Peoples and I'll be your weatherman. So, to get started here, our current conditions that it's going to be cloudy today, if you haven't already noticed, with a slight drizzle possibly, that being 32 degrees being its highest, but it feels, I know a little bit of error right there being 38, but it actually feels more around the 28 area with 9 miles wind speed. Now, as we move on to our tonight forecast, it will still remain cloudy, but actually the temperature will be dropping lower, that being 16 degrees, but it will feel like 7 only because it will be 18 wind speed going on. Then, as we move on to our tomorrow forecast, clouds will still remain. However, it will increase just slightly, being 20 degrees. It will feel like 6, but the wind speed will be 17 miles per hour. Now, that's all I have for you now. I'll give you more updates on the weather, but let's take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Cornelius. The latest series of aviation incidents, a Delta flight crashed on Monday, but all 80 people aboard survived. A scary moment for those aboard Delta Flight 4819 when the plane inbound from Minneapolis to Toronto flipped upside down on the runway upon landing. The runway was covered in snow and the plane appeared to lose traction, flipping over and catching fire. Investigations are still underway, and Michael Yoshida reports from Toronto as the investigation continues.
Airport emergency workers mounted a textbook response, reaching the site within minutes and quickly evacuating the passengers.
A total of 80 people were evacuated from the Delta plane. Passenger John Nelson described the scene inside the plane.
There was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, I was upside down.
An air safety analyst says it's amazing that everyone survived the crash.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong, yet still 80 people survived the accident.
Toronto Pearson Airport Fire Chief Todd Aitken says 18 people were injured. Delta says that some of those injured passengers have been released from the hospital. Experts and officials say the outcome is a credit to the crews on and off the plane. Monday's crash adds to a rough few weeks for air travel in the United States. 10 people dead after a Regent airline plane crashed in Alaska earlier this month. In late January, there were a pair of fatal incidents. 7 people were killed when a medevac jet crashed in a Philadelphia neighborhood, and there was the mid-air collision near Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people. 2 runways at Toronto will remain closed as the work to determine what caused the crash continues. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is leading the investigation, and the National Transportation Safety Board in the U.S. is assisting. I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Thank you. Another federal department loses its leadership today. We have more on this after the break.
And how Jason Bourne is getting reborn into a new role. Stay with us.
Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DATQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DATQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
The acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration resigned over the weekend after a dispute with the Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon Musk. Michelle King resigned over the weekend following the dispute with the DOGE. The department tried to access sensitive security information, but the Social Security Administration blocked the request. More than 70 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. According to the Washington Post, Leland Dudek had been requested by President Trump to temporarily replace King as the current commissioner. Dudek was previously a manager in charge of the Social Security's Anti-Frauds Office. Trump has nominated Frank Bisoneau to take the position after he is confirmed by the Senate.
A federal judge has declined to block Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from accessing the data of the Department of Education. The Student Association at the University of California filed a lawsuit and asked for emergency restraining order to protect their personal data. The judge ruled the group had not shown that their data was being leaked in a way that was damaging their reputation or harming them. This decision was made because the violations of the privacy law were not clearly taking place at this time, but the judge also said the students could return back to court and seek financial compensation if their data was disclosed in an unauthorized way. This ruling was made on Monday after another judge declined to block DOGE from accessing systems at 3 other agencies.
It is looking like the groundhog was correct this year because this cold weather is going to be around for a little while longer.
Unfortunately, that is very true, especially for this week. Our weather anchor Cornelius Williams-Peoples is back to tell us what we should be prepared for.
Hey everybody, did you miss me? So, the groundhog did see its shadow, but it may not last as long as we expected. But in the meantime though, as we see across the North Texas here, it is going to be roughly in the low 50s area on top, being the middle section roughly around 40 on the end where McKinney is, Denton being 32, and Decatur being 28, and all the way down there being 26 by Graham. When we go down to the further area though, it'll be roughly, like I said before, 40 exactly on the Dallas area, Fourth Ward being 35, and all the way down there in the corner being 59 degrees. Now, as we move on to the next part here, as you can see, roughly in the general section area in the middle here, it's going to be roughly 32 to 24, 59 down in Austin. Upper parts, though, like Oklahoma City being 47, Amarillo, though, being 14, El Paso being 72. And as we go over here, Shreveport being 53. Now let's move on to our 7-day forecast. So for our 7-day forecast, it is going to be starting for tomorrow. It will be cloudy. They're saying there may be a little bit of precipitation, maybe a little drizzle. For sure about that, though, as we go along. But it is going to be 25 and 10 degrees low. As we move on to Tuesday, it is going to be sunny, that being 30 degrees exactly and 20 degrees being the lowest on that Tuesday. But as we move on to our Friday, the clouds will come back, being 38 to low 26. And then we'll move on to Saturday, Sunday. Saturday being partly cloudy, but we move over to Sunday being mostly sunny. And as you can see here, it's gradually becoming more warmer, exactly, as we move on to our Monday to Tuesday block, that being 71 to 73, but that night, though, being the lowest of 46 to 52. Now, as mentioned earlier, the Arctic blast is coming across the country, hitting North Texas. And while there won't be any snow, there will be extremely cold temperatures. Record-breaking ones even. Watch this in the place of Tuesday through Thursday with a -10 wind speed chill expected in some places Wednesday morning on February 20th. 1936, 89 years ago, didn't hit an all-time low of 19 degrees, and it looks like we could get very close or hit the same record on that Wednesday. But even though there won't be any snow, the winds will bite. So please be sure you leave cabinets open. To take it a step further even, have your faucets on and dripping if at all possible. Do not go outside unless you absolutely have to, layered with clothing, of course. Make sure you keep up with the local weather updates as we head into the week. That's all I have for you. Now let's take it back to the desk.
Annie, this cold weather makes me want to bundle up with hot chocolate and watch a movie.
Yeah, I love using ChatGPT for my movie recommendations.
Well, let's send it over to our segment anchor, India Edwards, to hear what she has to say about this upcoming movie she just checked out.
I do, you guys. Adventure movie lovers, make sure to listen up because I have great news for you. Coming straight out of Hollywood, Matt Damon is set to play the Greek mythological hero Odysseus in Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey. CNN's David Daniel has more.
It's like it had this immersive, like, it just kind of grabbed you. And
Oppenheimer co-star Matt Damon is reuniting with Christopher Nolan on The Odyssey. Universal Pictures released this photo of Damon in the lead role of Odysseus. The star-studded cast also includes Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, Charlize Theron, Tom Holland, and Zendaya. The adaptation of Homer's classic tale is due in theaters in July of 2026.
They were reckless, and they destroyed our land. They did away with our fathers. They killed a lot of people in the form of genocide.
Two new documentaries focus on Native Americans. Trinity looks at the effects of the first nuclear tests on Navajo Nation and other nearby residents, with first-person accounts by witnesses, local miners, and those who just lived downwind of the blast.
By leaving, I got more experience and more education. I got to know these wonderful people in the world, city of Philadelphia, but you're Lakota, you're Native, you're still gonna come back.
Without Arrows tracks a Lakota family over 13 years, both their struggle to survive and the vibrancy of the culture they hope to pass on to future generations. Both films are available now on DVD and VOD platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Wow, what an incredible cast. I love Lupita Nyong'o and Zendaya, so I'm very excited to see how they perform. Although the release date is quite a bit away, I definitely will be tuning in to watch this movie in theaters, and I hope to see you there. Back to you, Landry.
Thank you, India. When we're back, more on how you can get both your favorite sweets and savory treats.
And more information into a recent arrest of a Dallas Maps staff member.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this.
I believe.
This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have two traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
If you're looking for something to do after the freeze this week, there are many restaurants in the DFW area. Although there are a few who give back, I found a pizza restaurant that does, and I got the slice on how they strive to make a difference. Pizza, a local restaurant located in Fort Worth with a profound impact on their community.
I think it's a family environment. I think everybody that works here kind of feels like a family. Everybody loves what they do, and I think that's important in making good food and loving what you do, right? So everybody enjoys their job.
At Little Brothers, their love to give back is certainly unsliceable.
We do donate a lot of food to like churches, schools, anything like that. If people reach out, we got it.
Not only is their mission to serve others unforgettable, their food is also something to remember.
More times than not, I'm seeing the same faces over and over again rather than, new ones. And whenever we do see the new ones, they are coming back for more.
It's the family-like environment and finishing touches that have people coming back again and again.
We have amazing customers that come in, our regulars. I love them. So just a big family here.
Similar to how they make their pizzas, Little Brothers has all the right ingredients to make a great and lasting impression. With ntTV, I'm Annie Tomlin. Now that is a restaurant I certainly see myself coming back to. It feels good to know that there are businesses who still aim to help others, not just by serving them food, but also by being there to help them in any other way that they can. And if you have room for more after pizza, try getting dessert. Like me, my co-anchor definitely has a sweet tooth, right, Landry?
You're right, Annie. I definitely love chocolate. That is why I'm a fan of February, but not just because of Valentine's Day. It's also National Chocolate Month. And if you're thinking about indulging in some, our reporter Erin Erie got the chance to check out how North Texas is getting into the chocolate groove.
As if you needed another reason to satisfy your sweet tooth, February is National Chocolate Month. I got the opportunity to find out how the North Texas community and the UNT campus is celebrating. We got a look behind the scenes at how chocolate is made here at the Touring Chocolatier with Kay Thibodeau. Now, a product needs to contain 20 to 25% cocoa solids and at least 15% cocoa butter to be considered genuine chocolate. The industry is more than just the sweets, and Kay explained what makes the chocolatier industry so gratifying.
The artistry, working with a great team, developing different flavors, the relationships, oh my gosh, the relationships that we've grown with our suppliers in Hawaii, Oahu, the Big Island, Maui. I mean, we're all friends.
The smells inside of the factory were plenty to satisfy my cravings, and the decorated pieces were delicious eye candy. I got back on campus and found out what fellow students thought about their favorite treat. One student said it reminded them of their home and one other key ingredient.
Definitely family.
For another student, she could only see it going one way.
Honestly, girls, because chocolate and girls.
vanilla boys. I don't know.
Now we're back on campus at UNT Dining. We're here at West Hall, and we're going to get inside and see how they're celebrating this national holiday. We got the inside scoop to find out how National Chocolate Month came to be celebrated here on campus with UNT Dining's executive chef of residential dining.
We really wanted to do a multi-week event here at Kitchen West.
If you didn't get into West Hall last week, that's okay because you still have 2 more weeks, or you can stop by the touring chocolatier all year round for amazing chocolate.
That place looks so amazing. I really want to go check it out soon. That's all I have for you now. Annie, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Landry. It looks like our neighbors at TWU just received a big honor. Our very own Faith Webster is at Texas Women's to give us the latest. Faith?
Thank you. That's right, guys. Texas Women's University has received their Tier 2 Carnegie Research Designation. This designation will lead to lots of new research activity and a breakthrough for many researchers. The Carnegie Classification of Institutions of Higher Education review approximately 3,900 U.S. institutions every 3 years. With TWU becoming this Tier 2 research designation, it becomes one of 16 universities in Texas to receive. To be eligible for this designation, you will have to spend a minimum of $5 million per year and award 20 doctoral degrees per year. Gaining this will fuel breakthroughs and lead to new donors and federal funding. It will cause a sea of students. And that's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
A Dallas Mavericks assistant coach was arrested this weekend after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend with a gun. Amidst an argument early on Saturday, after his girlfriend found a message from another woman, 56-year-old Daryl Armstrong allegedly picked up a gun, struck the victim in her face, then threatened to shoot her. After the assault, the woman left the apartment and contacted authorities. Armstrong was later arrested and a gun was found in his apartment. He had been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and posted bond. In a statement, the Mavericks disclosed that they are taking the matter seriously, and the employee was placed on administrative suspension pending the outcome of these legal proceedings.
Annie, aren't you really into professional hockey?
For sure. Personally, I'm Team Sweden, but I have to be Team USA now after they were eliminated yesterday.
I unfortunately missed the big game, but luckily our sports anchor Christian Bursich is here to tell us all about it and more.
Thanks, guys. Canada and the United States will meet in one of the most anticipated hockey matches of the 21st century after Sweden and Finland were eliminated last night. I've got more on the four nations face-off as well as reactions to the absence of LeBron James in the NBA All-Star Game after the break.
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
After the game with Sweden yesterday, the United States have claimed a spot in the championship match of the four nations face-off against Canada. The dramatic rematch will take place on Thursday in Boston. When these two nations faced off in Montreal, Canadians booed the American national anthem and wore jerseys saying "Never 51" in response to President Donald Trump's recent comments about annexing Canada into the United States. The American players were clearly not taking this disrespect because as soon as the puck hit the ice, gloves followed. Matthew Tkachuk immediately started throwing hands with Brandon Hagel, but he wasn't the only American that felt disrespected, as 2 other Americans started fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. The Americans would end up dominating and taking the win 3-1. The American team is hoping to have a repeat performance on Thursday in Boston. Some NBA fans are upset with LeBron James for waiting until Sunday morning to announce that he would sit out of the NBA All-Star game. Players usually let the league know when they intend not to play in the All-Star game so that the league is able to find a replacement player. But because of the late notice given by LeBron, his team instead played with 1 less player. Regardless, Team OG was able to secure the victory in the NBA All-Star Tournament. With the NBA All-Star ratings consistently declining, it's important for the top stars of the league like LeBron James to perform in All-Star Weekend. The UNT women's basketball team is red hot before tournament season, and it was on full display when they took on the Memphis Tigers at home last Wednesday. I was at the Super Pit to cover this blowout game.
UNT welcomed Memphis to the Super Pit on Wednesday night, as our women's basketball team aimed to grab their 8th straight home win against a struggling Memphis team. The Tigers started the night on fire, scoring 24 points in the first quarter to the Mean Green 17.
I feel like maybe we just came in taking them a little bit too light. We let them be comfortable, and like I said, that's not what we like to do here at home. We don't want anybody feeling comfortable. So once we finally made them uncomfortable, it started to show.
Despite an improved second quarter defensively for UNT, Memphis went into halftime with a 36-34 lead. The second half, however, was a completely different story. The Mean Green came out on a tear, playing physical defense and turning their stops into easy transition buckets. The Mean Green scored 32 points in the third quarter, holding Memphis to only 6 points, their lowest total of the season. UNT ran away with it and never looked back, winning the game 97-57.
What I told them to come out and score 63 points at halftime and outscore them by 40-plus points it was magical. We got to bottle that up and sell it.
The Mean Green hope to keep the momentum rolling when they travel to Tulsa on Saturday. With a 10-3 conference record, UNT looks like a real threat to win the American Conference. From North Texas Television, I'm Christian Bursach.
After beating Memphis, the Mean Green women kept rolling when they traveled to Tulsa and beat them in a close one, 61-58. Tamisha Lampkin scored a whopping 29 points and was named the American Conference Player of the Week. Their record is currently 19-7, while sitting at 3rd in the American Athletic Conference.
Thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.